Welcome all of you friends. It's Red Shikshan Sanstha's RBNB College, Srirampur, and myself Limkar Shubhangi Subhash. Today we are going to start here. It's from your English syllabus. That is, it is included in 11th and 12th English syllabus. That is figures of speech. So at firstly we are going to know what do you mean by figures of speech. So figures of speech, this is called as a tool, or we can call it as one of the devices from the lots of devices. So in poetry, when the poet is going to write or going to make the poem of himself or herself there, so he or she uses lots of devices or tools in that language. So in poetry language, and in this poetry language there are lots of tools or devices used. For example, take their example of rhyming words. We can call the one of the literary device, we can call it as the one of the poetic device. Then as well as the rhyming scheme also, we can call it as the poetic device. Then next to it, that it is also the figures of speech. It is also called as the one of the tool or device from poetry. Now here, why do the poet use these figures of speech? So this question maybe arise in your mind, that what's the use of these figures of speech in poetry? So the answer of it, that the figures of speech is like an ornament. So dear friends, when we want to decorate our body, at that time we are wearing lots of ornaments. That's why we are looking so beautiful, and it's the purpose of wearing ornaments. So like that, poetry also has this kind of ornaments. So all the devices, we can consider all these devices as the ornaments of poem. So because of all these ornaments, because of all these poetic devices, the poem is become there beautiful, and that's why the use of figure of speech is mainly because of that in poem. So now here the poet's main purpose behind it to enhance means what? To increase the beauty of the language. So we can imagine throughout that beauty, we can imagine the language of the poet there, as well as we like the language of the poem. There is no simple line in the poem, okay? Because of the rhyming words, because of the rhyme scheme, because of the lots of figures of speech are used in the poem by the poet. That's why the poem is become beautiful there, and it touches the heart of the reader, and that's why the poetry is different from the literary other forms there, or literature forms there. So we are going to study here the first one, figure of speech, which is included here in your 11th and 12th English. So first one, we are going to see alliteration. So what is the definition of alliteration? We are going to see it. The definition of the alliteration, or the all of the figures of speech, will not going to ask in the examination, but for your understanding, it's necessary that to know the definition of the each and every figure of speech, because you may be helped for this. You are able to know or understand the figure of speech, and then you are able to explain the figure of speech. Now first one here is alliteration. So what is alliteration? Is the repetition of the beginning sounds of the neighboring words. Okay, means what? There is the repetition of the sound at the beginning or at the starting of the word. It is called as alliteration. For example, he holds his head high. In this sentence, see here, all the words beginning here begins with the sound, not letter, the sound H. So we can see here in this line the figure of speech is alliteration, because in all those words the beginning sound of each and every words, that is H, is going to be repeated here how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It is repeated 5 times in the sentence itself. That's why we can call it as alliteration. Now take another example of it, that is Raju brings himself to the bank of a boy. So here also the B sound, that is in the word brings, as well as B sound in the bank, that is shore, okay, beach. It is in the bank, the beginning sound B is also repeated here, and again in the same, in the similar sound repeated in the last word, and that is bay. Bay means sea, ocean, okay. Then so here we can say the figure of speech is alliteration. Okay, now next is here repetition. So what do you mean by repetition? Repetition means we are going to see the definition of it for your understanding. So you are able to give the explanation of that figure of speech, because in examination the figure of speech will be asked there, and it has there 2 marks, 1 mark for the correct identification of that figure of speech, and 1 mark is for the explanation of that figure of speech. So we are going to see here the definition of repetition. So what is repetition? That is, repetition is when words or phrases are repeated 2 or more than 2 times, then it occurs in that sentence as repetition. Take an example of it, that rain, rain, go away. So in this line there is the repetition of the word rain more than 1 time. So we can call it as repetition. So when the particular word is repeated in that particular given sentence 2 or more than 2 times, then we called it as repetition. Take another example of it, that alone, alone, all alone. In this sentence also the word is repeated in this line, that is alone, thrice or 3 times. So we can call it as repetition. Now third figure of speech we are going to see here, and that is personification. So what do you mean by personification? So see here that in personification it gives human qualities, or we can call it as the living being qualities, to non-living things or inanimate things. The human being qualities or the animate being qualities given to inanimate things or non-living things or idea, we can call it then as personification. The figure of speech example here, the waves are singing a song. In this sentence, waves are inanimate things, and these waves are described as given to these waves the human quality, because singing a song, this is a human quality and which is given to the waves. That's why it is called as the personification. Now next example of it, that stars danced in the sky. So here stars are, all of you knew that stars are non-living things. So the human quality, that is dance, it is given to stars, that is non-living things. So we can call it as personification. So you have to give this type of explanation in your answer. So remember this. Now next point or the next figure of speech is here simile. So what is simile? Simile is a comparison between two unlike to dissimilar, which is not similar, it is called as the unlike. Things using the words that is like, as, such, so, similar. So these words oftenly used in the line of the simile sentence there. So what is there? Kashmir is like a heaven of India. So there is comparison between Kashmir with the heaven of India. So here the oneness is shown there of different things there. So we can call it as the simile. So we are not giving here in the explanation of that sentence, that is because here it's not proper there. What? When you are going to write like this in the answer of yours, that is not proper. What is that? I am going to tell that. In this sentence, the words like is used. That's why the figure of speech is simile. It's incorrect. So what is the correct there? Here, two dissimilar ideas. That is, Kashmir is unlikely compared to a heaven of India with the word like. So we can call it as simile. So here also in the second example, as white as snow. So in this sentence also, what is that? As. With this comparison, we can compare snow with white color. So as white as snow. So in this line, the figure of speech is simile. Okay, till this we are going to stop here, and in next lecture we will be going to see another or next figure of speech there. Thank you. So in this lecture we have completed here, the first one is here, alliteration, then repetition, then personification and simile. Thank you.